So.
Hey, Michael, I wondered if you were up there. I didn't know if that was you signed in as HBA of Southeastern Michigan. We have some friendly faces on this call. I like it.
That's awesome. All right. Well, I see that it's 1 minute after, so we probably should go ahead and get started, even though we still have a few people set to join us, but they can join us as they can. So we should probably just kick this thing off. You want to do our intro?
Yep, I will get started. First of all, I'd like to thank Sue Sherman, the Executive Officer of the Lakeshore Home Builders Association, for setting this up and for setting it up for the entire state, not just her HBA. So thank you, Sue. And then next, just quick introductions. With me today is Kimberly Mackey. She is the founder and sales and marketing management consultant with New Homes Solutions Consulting. She is based in Florida. She's a consultant, speaker, and trainer. And she is vice chair of the National Sales and Marketing Council for NHB and past president of the Florida Sales and Marketing Council, as well as being chair of the Associates Leadership and Recognition Committee and on the board of the Florida HBA. I'm Carol Morgan, and I am founder and president of Denim Marketing, which is a woman-owned agency specializing in strategic marketing, media relations, blogging, social media, promotions, advertising, and much, much more. I'm the past NHB Professional Women in Building Chair, also past membership chair, and the current second vice chair of Associates. So from there, we're just going to dive on in. So I love this slide because it's really important to kind of think and reflect during this time. You know, leaders must lead. And sometimes it's surprising where leadership comes from within your organization. So don't be surprised if it comes from places it doesn't normally come from. Learn to ask questions and not make assumptions, and that will help you know what people are feeling and how to better address them and where to meet them and how to help them. Also remember, there's certainly no experts during the age of communications and coronavirus. We're all learning daily. And whatever life looks like on the other side, the role of crisis communications and the playbook we follow for this is going to be rewritten. And if any of you all want to know what I think of what life looks like on the other side, I just wrote a new blog yesterday on it called, it's kind of like a flashback to Mayberry. So I think we're going to have slower times in the future. Kimberly, you want to chime in?
Well, I think we can all appreciate that the universe did give us a rip-roaring message. They just like slapped us in the face and said, slow down, people. So not that I've slowed down a whole lot during this, but my life certainly looks a lot different, as I'm sure a lot of yours does too. I think if we, as Carol said, look for that leadership, your stressful times really cause character and true character to show. So look for those people within your organization. Look for those people who are cheering others on, who are finding the positive for sure. And, you know, what we do, the messaging, our tone of the day, how we treat our team right now, all of that is just going to be so critical. And I think that we can embrace some of the things that we've learned. This is a chance for us all to learn something new. I had to learn how to do webinars. So I've been on a gazillion webinars, but I'd never been the person who runs the webinar before. So I've had to learn a lot of different things. I've had to really put my thinking cap on. I was speaking with a colleague yesterday, and you know, I'm doing all this research and I'm looking everywhere to see what anybody is doing. So I've actually time blocked part of my day to go out there and search for those fun things that other people are doing, just to help inspire me and let me know that, yes, there are so many things that we can do right now. We shouldn't feel stuck, even though we're stuck in our homes. So again, there's many things that we can do. I wonder if somebody could respond in the chat. In Michigan, are you guys an essential service, or are you in a place where a lot of your activities have been shut down? I know I'm hearing kind of conflicting reports about Michigan. So I heard some person is not essential. No, we're shut down. I know I had one of my customers reach out to me and tell me that a truck with a house, all the systems on the house, so the components of the house were turned away at the Michigan border.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they were sent back. So all shut down unless for repairs, safety, or security. Okay, good. So that does make a difference in how we approach this. So thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually, it's actually kind of cool. I have a client in Detroit area who is shut down, so she can't proceed with her community that she's working on, which is really, really, really neat. It's revitalization of an area that hasn't had any development in 40 years. So since she can't do anything related to that, she has geared up to start making masks because she comes from a manufacturing background. So I love it. I think it's phenomenal to see people innovate and find ways to continue to work and be successful. So we have been getting asked a lot, what can we be doing behind the scenes to make our marketing more effective? Because obviously, even though we're all shut down, it's important to keep marketing because this is going to turn around and people are going to have pent-up demand. So prepare in advance, go ahead and start thinking about what is it going to look like when they take the stipulations and the rules and regulations away and you can start opening up again. What are those first messages you're going to want to get out to the public? What do they say? So go ahead and prepare and work on those in advance. And then it's a great time to do a self-audit. Look at what you're doing. Focus on your core basics. Look at your website. Is your website where it needs to be? It's a great time to build a new one or revamp your current one. Is your content where it needs to be? Are you focused on your search engine optimization, your blogging, your public relations, your social media? What do all of those look like? And then also your brand. And thinking through brand, brand isn't just the look and feel of your logo. It's a lot more than that. It's everything from how you answer the phones to how your people look when they're out in the field. So focus on all of that and make sure that it is absolutely as good as it can be so that when this turns around, you are ready for all that traffic that's going to come back to your website, that you're going to get back to it through all of your marketing that you're going to do. And I know Kimberly has some grassroots ideas on what agents can be doing right now. So Kimberly, I'll let you add that.
Well, we know that website traffic is up dramatically. People are at home. They are looking, they are reaching out to our sales agents across the country. So I've had to do a lot of pep talks lately to agents who are working from home and they just feel, super isolated, but letting them know there are things that you can be doing right now. One of those I saw last night, I actually chimed in on one. At 7 p.m. last night, there was a community here in the Tampa market that held a virtual wine tasting. And I'm like, what? Virtual wine tasting? How do you even do that? But they had a wine expert on. And she was giving people, she was like, go get a grape out of your refrigerator. And she was, having them peel the grape and put the skin back in their molars and just sit there with it for a minute and allow those tannins to release, and explaining what they were tasting and why wine is the color it is, and really educating people on wine. And she was coming to them from the community itself. So they actually did a virtual tour of the community. If your salespeople are not able to do that, they can still be doing videos. They can be doing outreach. I just can't explain enough how important it is to pick up the phone. What did I do with mine? Pick up the phone. We use these things to surf Facebook and to instant message people and all these other. Right now is not the time for all of that. Right now, while yes, you want to be doing some Facebook messaging and you want to be reaching out, you also want to reach out and call people. So I'm encouraging salespeople to set aside, structure their day, time block, call realtors. Guess what? They'll pick up the phone right now. They're just excited that their phone rang. So call those realtors, those general realtors out there that we want to establish those VIP relationships with. Talk to them, ask them about their business, find out what's going on in their world right now. And those types of things. Call your backlog of prospects. Mm-hmm. We're not trying to sell them a home per se right now, but we are trying to just reach out and talk to them and be a human being with them, find out about their dreams for when we come out of this thing. So, and I will also share, I did something interesting with one of my clients this week. We were having a brainstorming session, and we actually came up with what we're calling the peace of mind guarantee. So we are starting to write agreements because we have very engaged prospects. They're calling us. We've got a new section getting ready to open in a community, and they're wanting to know, when is that going to be available? When can I get in on this? So we're actually writing contracts taking deposits, and again, I see the in the comment here, we can do that virtually. You know, people can drop off a check, they can send us a check, they can wire us money. You know, they can do any number of ways to get money to us. And we're writing that contract, and then we're putting in a contingency that's basically 90 days. So if they lose their income as a result of COVID-19, then they'll get that money back 100%. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to choose the home site. We're going to choose the floor plan. We're going to choose the structural options. We're even going to have a virtual color session, not an actual color session with our designer, because of course that costs us money. And we're not going to start construction on the home until after the customer releases that contingency, just like maybe on a house to sell contingency or a financing contingency or anything like that. But at least we can keep that customer engaged and dreaming about their home and really get them bought into this process all the way through. So, and, you know, again, they have a 48-hour right of refusal. If we do have somebody who does come in and say, hey, I want a home on that home site, I'm willing to write it without a contingency. So you can message me for questions on that one. But that was just one brainstorming session with one client to try to come up with things that we could continue to do. So Carol, back to you.
All right. So then what type of marketing should we be doing? Remarketing. So you've probably heard the word remarketing, and you probably do it and may not even know you do it, but email marketing. So if you're using an email marketing system, whether it's MailChimp or Constant Contact or a CRM, it probably tells you who has opened your email and what they've clicked on. So this is a great time to take a deeper dive into what they clicked on and send them more information on what they clicked on, because obviously they're interested in it. So that's one thing you can do. You can remarket on Google. So if you have the Google Pixel installed on your website, then you can remarket to those people who've been to your website once, or twice on Google. So again, just a great way to remind them that you're out there. And same for Facebook. The Facebook Pixel can be used to remarket to people who visited your website, and you can remarket to them on Facebook. So if you haven't installed the Google Pixel or the Facebook Pixel, LinkedIn has one too. They call it the LinkedIn, I think they call it the marketing tag. I'd have to look for the exact words. But this is a great time to get somebody to install all of those on your site as well, so they can begin collecting data, because it also allows you to build lookalike audiences and market to those as well, which is very helpful. Your marketing should be as personal as possible. If you can use first names, if you can, reach out to them and say, hey, Kimberly, I see that you were looking at our blah, 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 then she's going to feel more engaged. Then, of course, virtual everything. Kimberly already touched on this, but Google is releasing trends on what people are searching. And one of the biggest trends is wine tasting with me, home improvement with me, whatever it is that you can do with me. So whether it's, yoga instruction, or it's flower decorating, or it's how to plant a victory garden, anything that you can do on video and include, whatever it is, organic gardening with me. Those are trending. People are searching with me right now. It's one of their highest search phrases. So that's something fun you can do. Keep in mind that not all of your customers' first language might be English. So if you've got multilingual buyers, then market to them in their language if that's possible, because that will help to keep them engaged and know that they're important to you. Revisit social advertising. Great time to be doing social advertising. Also a good time, everybody thinks I'm crazy because I'm always social, digital. It's a great time to look at traditional advertising as well, but digital ads on traditional sites. And you ask me why? Well, why is because right now there are more eyes on TV and there are more eyes on newspapers on screen still than there have been in forever. The numbers have skyrocketed because we've all gone back to traditional news as trusted, which is questionable when they air videos from Italy, but anyway, more people are looking at those. So if you have the advertising dollars and you want to get in front of a new audience, it's a good way to try that. So consider banner ads on those traditional sites. Public relations and media relations. If you're doing this, don't stop. If you aren't doing them, then you might want to gear up and add this to the mix. I can tell you that there are 2 or 3 pubs that are running every single thing that we send out right now from Denim Marketing on behalf of our clients. And, new communities, new floor plans. I think they are looking and scrambling for news that isn't related to coronavirus. So keep sending that out. If you've won awards, that's a good thing. Anything that's good news. If you're doing something that's good, for instance, we have a client that gave 10,500 masks. Part of them were N95 and the rest were medical masks to a local hospital, actually 2 local hospitals here in Atlanta. And we got 5 TV stations out to cover that. They're looking for good news. Another thing you could do is talk about unassisted access. Companies like InterNow allow home buyers to tour homes without you being there. They get a one-time code. They can enter the home. We're actually seeing increased traffic with some builders because of programs like InterNow. Green Tech Homes in Chattanooga, their traffic is up 3 times as high as it was before. And it's kind of interesting. You ask why, but the why is kind of easy. The reality is we really all do want to shop before we buy. And if we can shop without someone there, even better. I mean, how many times do you go looking for a suit or a dress or a tie and the salesperson says, "Can I help you?" You're like, "Oh, no, I'm just looking." I think that we've got a lot of buyers that are like that too. And then of course, social media. You need to be doing social media. And in social media, be transparent, whether you're open or closed. I guess in y'all's case, state that you're closed, but can still close deals, or you can show them homes virtually, or whatever it is you're doing. Virtual shopping is huge. A lot of what we're promoting right now are just virtual tours, just lots and lots of virtual tours. Again, people are looking to consume media right now, and there's lots and lots of bad news out there, but let's give them something fun to do. One of the things that I have heard you can do, and I thought this was really cool, Outhouse, if you're familiar with them, they do virtual reality and virtual plans. Some of their builders have started having kind of contests that allow people to go in and fully decorate that model home that they're most interested in, so that they can move and place the furniture, they can decorate it, they can figure out what it's going to look like when they move in. So that's kind of fun, and that's interactive, gives somebody in that buying process something to do. Show progress. If you're selling them, even if you take a picture virtually, take that picture and put it on your social media and show that sales are still happening and that there's happy customers out there. Or just get their testimonial. Ask them to get a picture of themselves in front of their house after they close. Talk about low interest rates. Huge, all over the place. I actually have a staff member that bought a new home, I don't know, not that long ago, maybe 2 years ago, but her neighborhood has appreciated. So she's looking at selling her townhome because a home in the neighborhood she's always wanted to be in is at a lower price than it's been in forever. So she's like looking at a new home today here in Atlanta. So I thought that was interesting. So, talk about low interest rates because that's what's driving her motivation to move. Be creative. The more you can do and the more creative you can be, the more people are going to pay attention. Just make sure you have that filter on. I know there's a few ideas that I have had that I'm like, ooh, good idea, but might offend someone. Because sometimes what we think is funny isn't really funny if you have someone in your family who has died of coronavirus. So be really, really careful about that. And I know you all are sensitive of that because you've got a big outbreak there, just like we do in the Atlanta area. And again, just give back. If you have something that you can share that you've given back, then share that. Those stories are resonating and people are commenting and sharing those. All right, back to Kimberly.
You definitely want to stay top of mind right now, just because we can't do certain things. People are craving information. They want education. So now is a great time to use your CRMs to get that messaging out there. Let them know what is going on as it relates to your industry. Let them know what that means to them. And again, focus on what you can do rather than what you can't do. And make sure that you are spinning it in that way. It's still the same message. It's just one is positive and hopeful, where the other one is just, let's put the brakes on here, people. So look at your CRMs and the messaging that you have going out. And I realize we have some people on here who probably are B2B CRM maybe, as opposed to business to consumer, which most of our builders would be. But this message applies across the board. So the messaging that you are sending out, again, you want to stay top of mind. Let your clients know, whether they're a consumer or another business or a builder, let them know what you can do and how you can help them right now. Turn off any autoresponders that you have that are not appropriate for our current environment. Like, come on out and see us. We're open 7 days a week. So make sure we forget those things because they're on automatic. So go in and turn those off and maybe just create some that are automatic responses for now. And then as we start to see what life looks like or how we're going to come out of this thing, then we can change that up a little bit. But don't neglect your CRM. Right now is a great time to start cleaning up that database and reaching out, finding out where people are in their process. And again, I want to encourage you guys to ask questions in the chat. Carol's monitoring the chat as we go. So if you have specific questions that you want to ask us or a challenge that you're experiencing, now's your time. Reach out to us. Again, that CRM, that's if you don't have a CRM, regardless of what kind of business you are, you need to get one. And now would be a really good time to make that investment, and you can get them from free to thousands and thousands of dollars. So you just need to find the one that's right for you. And I would encourage you to get one that already has a setup that is for your industry. I see people going out and going, oh, well, this one's free, so I can get it. And then they go, hey, I got this free CRM, and I'm looking at it going, yeah, it's not going to be free by the time we get through and we have to do all the setup that we have to do to it. It's going to cost us in person hours to get all of this done. Chat bots, this is something that we are seeing integrated in both from the artificial intelligence side of it to incorporate it into several of the CRMs. I know SharpSpring is tell people what a CRM is. Thank you, good point. Customer Resource Manager. So this is where you are going to, customer relationship management. So you can set up your database of your potential prospects and clients and have that outreach to them, and it will automate a lot of those things. And again, a lot of those CRMs out there, we use Lasso is a big one in the industry. I do a lot with Lasso. I do a lot with MXTR, which is a SharpSpring that's been formatted, and I actually put an overlay on that one for MXTR that is specific to the industry. So, and again, if it has chatbots in it, utilize those, set those up, whether it's true artificial intelligence or whether it's more like an automated sequence, all of those things. Enter Now, Carol already referred to them, where you can put those lock boxes on your home. They're actually not, in her case, they're actually not lock boxes, they're actually locks. And there is a number that people call. They're gonna scan a code. They're gonna have to put their driver's license in. They're basically gonna pre-screen these people before they go in the home. So I will tell you, if you have some of those lockbox, the non-Supra locks that I'm talking about, if you have those that just have the 4-digit code on them on your home right now, get them off, lock those homes up. If you're not going to do Enter Now, then you need to do something else, because that is not COVID friendly. In fact, it's COVID terrifying, because you don't know who's been in that home, what they have touched. So if you have those lock boxes on your homes, get them off right now. And again, Carol talked about video emails and social messaging. Those can all be automated and they can go out through your CRM, but then you need to have your sales team do the personal touch and follow up. So I would not recommend sending them out to a database of several thousand. I would recommend sending them out maybe in smaller batches of maybe 20, 25 at a time, so that your sales team can follow up with people. Because we know that nurturing leads and nurturing customers is going to be a long-term process now. It's going to be getting those people engaged, keeping them engaged until we can open the doors again. This is something that I've been challenging builders, and I actually posted this on a lot of NAHB pages on Facebook. I'm calling it hashtag Building Communities Challenge. Carol said giving back, and she talked about, making masks or whatever you can do to contribute back and then getting the credit for that. One of the things that I've been encouraging some builders to do is to have a contactless food drive in front of their model centers. You can put up a sign that says, XYZ builder, we're still here for you. Please donate non-perishable food benefiting whatever charity is, Feeding America, Feeding Michigan, feeding whatever it is, or a local food bank that you want to benefit. And then you do need to have somebody monitoring that. And maybe you only do it for select periods of time, but promote it, get it out in your communities. People are looking for ways to help. They're looking for ways to contribute. And if you can be the catalyst for that in a safe way, that's phenomenal. One of our local state representatives last night actually drove around on Davis Island in her van, picking up donations for Metropolitan Ministries here. And they did a story on the news last night about it. And I was like, go Jackie, that's just awesome. That was really cool. Now is the time to figure out what your customer experience was missing. So look at your process. So many of us opened our doors and then we just started doing business, and it's like that business just evolved over time, and we never really took the time to plan step by step by step what that process should look like, where those handoffs should happen, and how they should happen, and set the expectation for those every way through the process. And this goes, again, if you're a supplier, if you're a plumber, you know, or you're a home builder or remodeler, especially remodelers. If we've got some remodelers on here, boy, when you're in somebody's home doing a remodel, setting that expectation up becomes even more critical. So now take this time, map out your business, map out what that customer experience looks like all the way through, from inbound leads to how you rank the prospects, and again, utilizing that CRM. How are you going to engage with those leads and not forget people if they're not ready to buy like right now, which of course is key. And then your sales and the process, the contract, starting the work, and then all the way through even to the warranty period. You know, every step of the way we have different people involved. So map that out. Take this time. We've been talking about the customer experience finally for a couple of years. So, you know, now is your time to be able to really think this through and get it right as we come out of the gate. And of course, Carol or I both can help you with that if you want to reach out to either one of us on that. Because it isn't something you do in 5 minutes. This is a really well thought out process. And there's a lot of things that if you took that moment to have that out of body experience and say, if I were a customer, how would I be experiencing this? What would I feel like? And, you know, read those reviews or the feedback that you're getting from your customers. And sometimes it hurts. Sometimes they say things that are hurtful. But we need to figure out the real message. Where's the real pain in that? And can I do anything about it to prevent that from happening again? So, and there's a lot of opportunity here, I think, for us to do that and do that as an industry right now. So with that, I'm going to open it up for some open forum and some final thoughts. Carol?
Well, I just want to make sure everybody knows, if you're a member of your local HVA, which I'm assuming you are because you're on this call, we are doing an NHB Associates virtual meeting next Tuesday at 2 to really discuss how all of this impacts the trades. So look for that email from NHB, and I'd like to invite you to join. I'm actually moderating that, and I hope you'll come with lots of good questions or suggestions. Speaking of which, do you all have any other questions or suggestions?
Talk to us about what you guys are seeing. What are the biggest challenges that you're facing right now?
Or what are you seeing that others are doing well? Yeah, and if you look at the bottom of your screen, you'll see a chat button. And you just need to click on that. And then if you've got a question, make sure you address it to all panelists and attendees. That way we all see it.
And while we're waiting for attendees, HBA's up there. I know we've got several on. What are you guys hearing from your membership? What's your, and from an HBA standpoint? What are the challenges that you're seeing? Oh, that's good. Yeah. Carol.
Yeah, I'll make sure you get that. I haven't seen them send it out yet, but I'll send that to you when I see it, Sue. So they see some of the builders still posting on Facebook, but they're not engaging at all. I think they may need help with messaging. I think that's absolutely true. And engagement is so important. So just blasting marketing messages out there, you know, and then when people engage, not answering them. I mean, that's not very social on social media, but we see the same thing on websites. People will fill out a contact us form and maybe get an auto response and then nothing else ever. Well, guess what? Your competitor that they filled out that, you know, contact us form on that responded to them just got that business, because, you know, all you've done is turn it into a lead that's never going to turn into a sale. So I think in general, everyone can do a lot more engagement and responding to everything and have a system for that. That is definitely part of the customer experience, you know, treating them from the time that they become that lead like they're going to be a customer versus just dismissing them.
So, and so many people are telling me right now, you know, I'm spending more time on Facebook than I ever did. So even people who are usually not engaged on there.
A question there, if I go to the model now to create a walkthrough video, won't we get negative feedback because we're not staying in our home? Well, if you went and you created it and then you didn't, if you don't create it live, if you just video it and then post it, they're not going to know when you created it. So I'll leave that up to you on whether you want to leave your house and go do that or not, but there's probably nobody in the model, so I'm sure that it would be fine to do that. You know, I guess we're lucky in Georgia, we're considered an essential business. So there's still, you know, some people in and out of models. They're still doing some one-on-one appointments. It's kind of a little bit the Wild West as far as what's going on, because if you can be careful, and, you know, I don't think anyone's been reported. So we're still able to get into model homes.
Yeah, we're the same here in Florida too. But, you know, you can promote it by sending it out to your target audience through your database. If you have a database of customers, email marketing, social media, promoted posts on social media, you know, and promote those web meetings. Cause yeah, those, and I don't know if he's talking about, you know, through the HBAs or
I'm thinking he's just, you know, if you want to have web meetings with your clients or virtual meetings with your clients or prospects, then yeah, put it out there on your social, email them, put it on your website. You'll see a lot of websites that across the top now have a banner that says, you know, COVID-19, click here for more. So, you know, put it wherever you can put it so that people know that they can engage with you on those sites and in that way. And this is great. This must be an architect. We've signed 4 new design agreements in the last 2 weeks because we can design their home while they're locked in. That is so true. So that's a great way to push. It's kind of the same for, you know, pushing website design. You know, website designers can design a website without ever even seeing you. So there's a lot that you can do behind the scenes to continue to move forward. Holy cow, $1,000 fine and 90 days in jail if caught conducting business. Okay, so maybe you should stay home.
Is that caught conducting business, or if you're doing it virtually, or is that caught conducting business face-to-face? So yeah, I would definitely recommend that you not break the law and go out and do something face-to-face with a customer. But is there a law against you doing something virtually and keeping your business going?
Oh, you're a home builder that's doing the design. That's awesome. Okay. So you're designing their home while they're locked in. I like that. The other thing you can do, as far as if you don't have video, there's all sorts of little programs that are usually free in your software. You can take photos and turn them into video. Basically, you can pan across them and make them move and add words and add sound. I'm trying to remember what the name of the one is on my computer, but if you just on your computer search video editor, almost all of them come with something now, and they are super, super, super easy to use. So you can make it look like you have video of a model that you don't even have video of. We build a ton of those for our clients, and you literally, once you get the hang of it, you can build them in like 15 minutes because they don't need to be any longer than like 10, 15 seconds. Nobody's going to watch them anyway, maybe 20 seconds. So that's one way to cheat and have video. So yes, HBA of the South is saying, I'm guessing that's HBA of Southeastern Michigan, go Troy, go. So good job on selling designs. Huge advantage right now. People are sitting at home. Yeah, I think people are at home and looking to improve their lifestyle. You know, people are searching recipes. They're having game nights again. They're looking for projects they can do around the house. I don't know how
thinking about what's wrong with their house while they're staying in it.
Right.
And that they need more space, and maybe more space for home offices and home gyms. I heard that yesterday. You know, maybe we're going to redesign the way we live in case we ever have to lock down again. So yeah, now is the time to engage people on that and really start talking to them. How are those 4 walls starting to feel to you? What is it that, if you're going to be spending a lot more time in your home, what is it that you want out of your home? We can, you know, home is supposed to be where the security is, and home is where the heart is. And, you know, we're told multiple times every day, the safest place you can be is in your home. But is your home where you want to be? So, you know, talk to people about that kind of thing too. Suggest some software, Carol.
I use Microsoft Video Editor, literally, and I don't have the most recent Microsoft software on my computer, but if I go to the little, you know, magnifying glass and click search and click video, that's what comes up. It is so super easy to use, and that is the one I use because it is super easy to use. And I'm happy to give anyone who wants, you know, 2 or 3 pointers on it. If you want to email me, I'll send that out. That would actually be a really good blog post to do. Let's see.
I use Power Director, which which is a CyberLink product, and it comes free with it. So you may have it if you've bought a computer. So it does come with Microsoft software a lot of times, and then you can upgrade from there. And I did upgrade to the full package on it, and it's a really easy video editor, because I tried some of the professional ones and the Adobe product, and I'm sorry, I don't speak Adobe apparently, so I couldn't manage it. I couldn't figure out how to import stuff into it.
Right. Yeah, there's lots of them out there. So Loom might be one you want to watch. Let's see. Jewel Williams said they just launched a new kitchen design tool on their KSI website for homeowners to play with while they're at home. I think that's fantastic. They can design their site, and I hope I pronounced your name right. Shotcut is a freelance product as well with full editing capabilities. There's lots of stuff out there. I'm sorry, freeware product. I had typed the one to use for videos. It's called Video Editor, literally Video Editor on Microsoft now.
And I'll type the other one, Power Director.
And I'm sure there's one that that you can use on Mac as well. I don't have a Mac presently, so I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, most people are using the Adobe products on the Mac, so they tend to speak those products for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and if you guys have any other questions, here's how you reach us. We're both pretty much behind our computers all day, creating something for a client. I'm actually working on a really cool press release right now that I'm hoping I can finish up and get out to the client on making Everyday Earth Day. If you guys don't know, then April 22nd of this year is the 50th anniversary of Earth Day.
Wow.
And we have a builder architect client who is designing his personal home for he and his fiance and their blended family. And it's really a neat, cool, sustainable home. So we're pushing that out there about how he believes every day should be Earth Day, that it shouldn't just be one day a year. So
thank you all for taking time out of your day to attend with us, and I hope that this was helpful for you. Thank you, Michigan, for having us, and if we can help you in any way, don't hesitate to reach out to us. We are recording, so we'll send this out. You should get a link.
Thanks, everybody.
Have a great day.